Good evening, friends and family, and thank you for coming to another night with Repair, Restore, and Grow Black Communities Behind Black Business. Now, tonight, our special guest is Charles Pryor, and Charles is a trumpet player. And I had the awesome experience of hearing Charles play at the corner of 53rd and Blackstone, right here in the heart of Hyde Park, Chicago. And the sounds were so beautiful, were so beautiful. I had to ask him to come on the show. And as you can expect, musicians are very busy people. A lot of their experience is impromptu. And I just had Charles on, and he had to step away as he's planning some future events. And he's been playing all day today. And I think he has another event to attend to this evening. So I'm hoping that he will be able to come back and just ingratiate us with his knowledge and his experiences as a musician and playing the trumpet here in the Chicago area. As you know, we are a nonprofit organization, and we're about supporting Black businesses. We're about supporting Black businesses because this is how we can circulate the dollar and strengthen our communities by spending money with Black establishments, not just during Kwanzaa, not just during Juneteenth. You know, we can't treat how we spend our dollars as holiday spending. It has to become a part of our consciousness. And in becoming a part of our consciousness, we have a different experience and we have a different thought about what we're going to buy, where we're going to buy it, how we're going to buy it. And that also requires us engaging with the businesses in our communities and letting them know our needs, letting them know what you like, letting them know what you don't like, letting them know what you would like them to have more of in their establishments. So, in so many words, we have to work with our people, and we can't always hold our businesses up to the same standards. One of the major complaints that I hear is the cost of products. Well, with a lot of the behavior that is going on in our communities, our businesses often have to pay more rent. They have to pay higher taxes. Um, their expenses are greater for security. Their expenses are greater for the loss, because of the level of theft that is occurring in our communities. And all of that comes back to us in dollars in terms of how much we have to spend. How much money is it going to cost us? And that's why it's costing us so much. So we have to understand this is a cycle. This is a cyclical situation. What we're doing out here impacts what our businesses are able to do for us. And so we can't just point to our businesses and say that you're charging too much money. We have to look at what we're doing as a community in our business, in our city here of Chicago. So it's very important that we get a handle on this. And this is how this organization started. We wanted to do something to help the community, and we felt one of the best ways is to enhance the awareness of our businesses and the people who are serving our community and give you an opportunity to really know these people and who they are. And that's why we conduct an in-depth interview with the business in the Chicago area here at our RGBC. And so I'm hoping again that our guests will be able to return. Um, but if not, then we will have him on again next week. We may have to do a pre-recording. But as I stated earlier, Charles Pryor is a trumpet player, and and music is a big part of our experience in the community. We express our feelings from the depths of our souls and what's going on in our minds through music, through the expression of music, whether it's jazz, and Charles Pryor does play a jazz trumpet, and that's all about improvising, or whether it's R&B, whether it's rap music, whether it's the blues, whether it's our religious songs. We are able to heal. We are able to communicate what's happening in our minds and in our souls through music. And so music is so important to our community. We also here at Repair, Restore, and Grow Black Communities support Black businesses because Black businesses are more likely to hire people from the community. They're more likely to support our causes. They're more likely to give opportunities for other entrepreneurs, Black entrepreneurs in the community. And there's nothing wrong with Black people supporting Black businesses. This is what every other ethnic group does. If you ride through Chicago, which is one of the most segregated cities, as they stated, here in the United States, you will find very strong uh, Hispanic communities, very strong Arab communities. We have a very large Chinatown here, and you go into the Ukrainian communities, the Polish communities, the Jewish communities, the Italian communities, the Irish communities. Everybody has communities, and that's a beautiful thing. And they have businesses in those communities that they support and circulate those dollars in their community. So don't feel like if we're supporting and we're really stressing the idea that we need to support Black businesses, that is because, there's something wrong. There's something wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. As a matter of fact, that is exactly what we should be doing. And here at RRGBC, we also support our Black owned bookstores. Now, we do have a resurgence of Black bookstores. If you go to our website at rrgbc.org, you will find the list of those Black bookstores here in Chicago. Some are brick and mortar, some are online. Why do we support our bookstores? Again, what your consciousness is going to impact what you are going to do. And we have many very enlightening books written by some wonderful authors out here. Many new people are starting to write books to express their feelings, to talk about their experiences that they're having here. And so the bookstores are very profound, and some of our books are so profound, they've been trying to take some of them off the shelf, which shows you how impactful they are. Why would they not want you to read these books? And remember, if you look at our history back in slavery, our people were not allowed to read. And why is that? Because of the knowledge. And many of our children in our schools are not learning to read like they should be. And we learn how to read. Many people learn how to read on their own because there was such a desire, and to learn how to read. There was such a desire for knowledge, and that knowledge is what empowered many of the great people like Thurgood Marshall and Ida B. Wells and all of these people that we have read about and that we hear about when we talk about these people during Black History Month. And so it's just very important that we learn how to read. Frederick Douglass his slave owner's wife taught him how to read, and it freed his mind. And so there's a lot of information in the books that are in our bookstores, and we think so much of that. We feature a Black bookstore every month. And this month, our bookstore of the month for July is Afriware Books. Afriware Books is now a mobile bookstore, and you can go to their website at afriwarebooks.com and look at the books that they have, and you can purchase those books online, or you can pick them up by appointment at the Oak Park location, which is 1031 South Boulevard in Oak Park. Their phone number is 708 223 8081. And Nzinga, who has been out here with Afriware since 1993, servicing our community. And so you can purchase books from Afriware Books. We also select a book of the month from that particular store, and we have selected the 1619 Project by Tara P. Henson and Dr. Bleak. Now, Afriware, I believe, is offering a first edition autographed, autographed copy of a audiobook for the 1619 Project. And this book addresses the consequences of slavery and Black contributions. This is at the center of the narrative in this particular read. So if you want to win a copy of the 1619 Project, we ask you to go to rrgbc.org, where you can subscribe. And we pay for the book, we pay for the shipping, free to you. All we ask is that you read the book. All we ask is that you share the information and the knowledge that you gained from reading that book, even if you want to pass it on to someone else. And this is how important that is. And finally, we support the Southside Community Federal Credit Union. And the Southside Community Federal Credit Union is located at 55th and Garfield in the shopping mall. They've been there for over 20 years, providing financial literacy classes, consultations, loans for mortgages, personal loans, car loans. They've been in the community, and they're all about circulating the dollar in the community. And why don't we have accounts at the Southside Community Federal Credit Union? They are going to give back. And in order for a bank to thrive, they need you to open up accounts. So please look at the Southside Community Federal Credit Union, go there and talk to Greg Brown and open up an account at that facility, because this is a facility that is giving back. So I am assuming that Charles is preoccupied here. I know he did state that he had a venue that was presented to him at the last minute, and so he may not be able to partake in this interview tonight. So I do apologize for this inconvenience. However, what we will do is we will get Charles back and probably do maybe a pre-recording with him so we can air it and not have any interruptions. But I was looking forward to talking to him. Charles plays the trumpet in many different venues, but I was particularly interested in what he was doing because he was playing on the streets. And we see a lot of musicians playing on the street, and we think that they're doing it just for money. But that's not always the case. There's a connection that they want to make with the people out here when they're playing. Uh, Playing musical instruments has been going on out on the streets, has been going on since medieval times, when they used to have these people playing, and it was to help draw attention to a business. So they would have people to play outside of their establishments. And then even with the circus, the I guess the circuses that we've had that were so frequently attended has diminished some. And so some of those people who were working in the circus have taken their comedy acts, their dances, their singing, their musical instruments to the streets. And so this is another whole world. So when we're looking at these musicians on the streets, like I said, they're not always just out there to make money. They're out there for different reasons. And I wanted to talk to Charles about that tonight. But it looks like he's not going to be able to make it back in time. So we're going to end our show tonight. And I will definitely make sure we have an interview. Hopefully, we can redo this particular interview and bring Charles to you, Charles Pryor, trumpet player, to you next week. Okay, so I want to thank you for coming, and please tune in next week.